So many guys out there. Who Oklahoma State was in there? The drama continues as always. We just had a president, but you want it to be true. You make it true. So you get clicks, but when you go personal, what's really going on? Like, what's going on, y'all? This Greg said it. Back with another one. Yeah, it is on mute. What's going on? So y'all can hear me there. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Alan. Yeah, I was looking for this mute here. We right here. I'm sure y'all can hear me now. The mute is off. Can you hear me? Everybody should hear me good there. Yeah. What's going on, y'all? This Sunday afternoon, everybody coming in. Do me a favor. If you just coming in, you watching the replay of this thing, make sure y'all hit hashtag Heisman. Hashtag Heisman. Y'all, it's been a long time coming. Hashtag Heisman in that chat. Man, we've been on this journey with this Colorado thing for the last, couple years. It's a slight delay in my chat here. But a shout out to everybody who's let me see, D Hall. He said D Hall. Got Felix in here. Allen. The old faithful here. Hashtag Heisman in that chat. We've been working on this thing. If y'all don't mind, I'm gonna go back down memory lane. Because this offseason has been good to Colorado. I think we starting to I wouldn't say accept, but we starting to kind of understand the reality that Colorado, of course, didn't make the bowl game, and Colorado didn't make the playoff, and then it's even more weird because we watching Arizona State at all people who was pretty much worse than Colorado last year and this year as far as the rankings. Watching you in red zone on my Tanggula box. Watching you in red zone. What's red zone? You know, Allen is our Tanggula box expert here. We see the recruits coming in. I'm thinking about flipping to us. Yeah, I mean, Juju gonna make a big difference. And, you know, Juju's from Georgia. A lot of guys played with him. So a lot of people gonna run. But, you know, before we get into this thing, one thing we can say for sure that really means something is that it's NFL red zone. Okay, I haven't tried that. I'm gonna check that out. What's on NFL red zone? I know that's one of the special channels. Like, is it like behind the scene access or what's? No, it's not a regular channel. But when you see Colorado have a Heisman come out of there, all that talk about what Colorado is and ain't it's over. It's over. You know, Colorado, can they produce success? Will you go there? Will you get exposure? You know you're gonna get exposure. That's the first thing. You also know that you can win. So Colorado wins now. They made the little bowl game. Could have got to the playoff, but now you produce a Heisman and what was the Shadeur's the Golden Arm Trophy? I forget the exact name of it. They got all these names. You produce that. Of course, these guys came with Coach Prime, right? But he produced it in 2 years, and they're gonna be both of them gonna be in the top 3, definitely top 5, depending on what maneuvers are made. Draft picks along with other guys. And, you know, I already see people going to write that off. They're going to say, well, yeah, that don't count. That's his son. First, he ain't supposed to make because his son really not that good. Now, well, he made it because his daddy, but whatever. You're going to try to not count it. They're going to say, well, what can he develop? Because he brought Travis with him. Travis already the top high school player in the country. It was his son. What else do you expect? Can he produce anything else, right? And then you say people mad about Janty, but these the same bozo, the clowns, who didn't respect that, one, our players came from lower play, that they not good enough for these boys played at a HBCU their first year. And they would never gave Travis the credit. They already dogging his coach out. They barely want to give him credit now. They would have never gave him the credit. Shadeur would have never got the credit he got at Jackson State. All they're going to say is hypocrisy, hypocritically. They ain't playing nobody. They ain't playing nobody. You know, the competition is lower. Yet, you got this guy who can go and play out in the Mountain West. And yeah, he's good. But you don't use that same excuse against him. you so busy trying to beat Travis, you're gonna contradict yourself. You're gonna say, hey, he beat Mountain West teams because he's good. But you're not holding against him that he's in a lesser division, a lesser competition. They want to hold against Travis in the Big 12 compared to SEC and all that. And, Shadeur, they don't play nobody. But this guy can go and play Colorado State and these little San Jose and dominate them. And he's supposed to win the Heisman. That's the problem. It's also a problem when you go against somebody like a Travis Hunter, who's a rarity. Only a fool would miss that opportunity. It says most outstanding. Can people read? It says the most outstanding player in college. They don't get no more outstanding than Travis. They don't get no more outstanding than Travis. He's outstanding. He's the best player all around. He done won all the awards. The one he should have won, they took that. He best overall defense, best receiver, best defensive player, best, most impactful player. How do you get all that and not be the Heisman? Only a fool would do that. And he's doing it on both sides of the ball. Clearly, he's All-American, all this on both sides of the ball at the same time. Janty is good, but he's nowhere near the size of Derrick Henry. You look at him standing by everybody, he's small. He's a small frame. He's smaller than Bear. But he's compact, but he's small. He don't have – Derrick Henry's like 6'2", 240, 250. This boy's nowhere near that. But he's good. He's small size like Barry. They only try to play this crap because of Prime. From one of these overpowered schools, all 5-star. Yeah. They try not to give him. Yeah, he playing for Coach Prime. They always trying to undercut him. Shout out to A1 Sports. Look like we got something coming through. It's so different on my screen. Super chat. Appreciate you. He won the Heisman. Shout out to Greg. Said it. Keep it real and raw content coming. Appreciate it. I try, y'all. I really do. I do my content my way, but at the same time, y'all, it's like, I'm gonna be real with y'all. It's a change coming. Travis gone, Shadeur gone. The storyline is what's been sold. The storyline has been sold, and that's what's really kept us going with the well-off. It's like a reality show on wheels. We watching these boys grow up. We literally watched Shadeur grow up on a reality show. We watched these boys grow up from Jackson State. We watched Travis Hunter as a true freshman, and we watched his journey. It's documented like a reality show. And I shout out to Buck, and I hope he realized what he's doing and what he's had. I think over time he will. He's collecting history. This guy won a Heisman, and we watched his whole journey. That's unheard of. We watched him from the time he took that hat off and said, I'm going to Jackson State. It's like a movie. Like when they make a movie about Travis Hunter, Bucky getting paid because he got all the content for the movie, all the behind the scenes, all the material. I remember watching this boy. I remember going to Celebration Bowl. He signed right before the first Celebration Bowl that they had. And I remember going to the game, like, I wonder, is he going to be at the game or whatever, and how that was going to affect everything. Then he came that next year. He had some recovering from ankle surgeries, and people didn't really know behind the scenes. Prime kind of covered that up. He didn't let him play a lot. He played the first game, but then he didn't play the next few games. And then he came back and did well. Team went to the championship. And they lost because a lot of guys didn't play. A lot of people don't know. A lot of guys hit the portal, this portal stuff, and they knew he was leaving. And they played anyway, even though they about to jump right on the flight and go to Colorado. And we watched this whole story unravel. Like the first time a lot of us seen Colorado behind the scenes, the first time we seen the facilities compared to Jackson State. We just watched it, and we watched them go to the basketball games, and we watched this whole thing unravel, the recruiting. It's bigger than watching wins and losses. We literally got a first row seat on how this story will lay out. And now Travis is the first person to win a Heisman that played at the FCS level. So he's got all kinds of history behind him. Jim Thorpe. They lost a great chance to have somebody with that resume say we held this trophy. That was the dumbest thing they could have did, because what he goes on to do, you go to Hall of Fame, you can say, hey, this guy once had the trophy. Why you being silly? Whatever reason you use, you want somebody like this guy because he's a rarity. He's a rarity. Hey, he locked down half of the field, and you say he didn't make enough tackles. Well, he's not supposed to. I mean, our defensive line was a lot better. Our linebackers was a lot better. Last year, he probably would have made more tackles than this year, because they handled the job, and they wasn't typically going his direction. But when he did make tackles, he made some pretty dynamic tackles. Silly, he made some solid hits. He don't slam people. He don't cause fumbles. I mean, what else do you want? You know, what else do you want? Let's see. That was just pure politics. Been at least 10 more running backs in the last 10 who produced. Yeah, I mean, he did well, but again, he didn't do it at the top level. And I'm not trying to take that away from him, but they're gonna take it away from, if Travis was at Boise State and Coach Prime was at Boise State, they would have used the same argument against him. Well, he ain't did it against nobody. He only playing against these lower level things. So you can't make a big deal out of that, because if Janty was at Alabama and did it, he probably would have. Pretty much Janty it's the wrong year. This was next year, he got it hands down. But you just can't deny Travis Hunter for what he did. It's just ridiculous. You can't deny it. Yeah, if anything, it would be an award made his name if he make a history. You know, some kind of ESPN trophy. You're right. Yeah, he definitely needs a ESPN award. And I think the future is bright for him if he just stay focused, and if he build a true vision out for what he can do. I think he can be the TMZ of sports. Just build his organization out and cover all things sports, but from a more, behind us. Give everybody the opportunity to be what Travis and Shadeur is, to help their brand, like be in their face, in their house, their family, be that guy to show them in that light to help with their brand. I think he can do that. That's why I say TMZ. Because TMZ is like news, but it's silly, and it's like showing stuff that nobody else would see. You know, they're kind of intrusive because it's paparazzi, but some people want them there so they can spin it. So I think Bucky has a lot of potential to expand, because a lot of I seen when Shadeur was up there throwing, and with the receiver from the Giants up there, and they was throwing in the street. Dude looked at the camera like it was different. He a rookie and he's playing for the Giants, and he wasn't used to it, and he's in the NFL. So I know a lot of people in the NFL, it's gonna be different for them to have that camera in their face. As Shadeur them is used to it. They've been around it most of their life. So it's gonna be different on the content and assets he has. But I think over time, some people may be more comfortable, and some people may even want it. Like, hey, I need that. So I think he has a lot of potential to expand and bring other people on and train other people and do it bigger, because it's his time to go bigger. His brothers is going to a bigger level. Who knows how long his dad would do what he's doing, but he's benefited from it. So he don't want to like his dad stop coaching, like be like, what do I do? He can duplicate this now. That's what I think. I don't know that. I think Travis would get a lot of like support from if he was on other teams, but at the same time, I don't think that he wouldn't have had the chance to have such an impact. He wouldn't have the chance to play both ways to the degree. Nobody would have trusted that. Yeah, Janty would have definitely won if it weren't for Travis being there. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he got too many storylines, man. Travis got too many storylines. He's just too dynamic. I mean, the dude even got a 4.0 GPA. Like, he's just too much. It's like, you got to be there. I don't know, is Janty a senior? Because it's like, I believe he is. It's like, this would not be the year. Like, I don't want to go up against him. He's just too well-rounded. He represents everything about that trophy. He's outstanding. Not just the best player. He's outstanding. Everybody in the world, they say he's more popular across the world than a lot of people in the NFL. He's a brand. He has to win. He is the most outstanding. He is the face of college football. However, he got it. He was smart to latch on with Coach Prime. He was smart to do that. But at the end of the day, he had the attributes. He was smart enough to attach with somebody who can teach him how to brand and let yourself on to Coach Prime's brand. You really didn't see Travis in a lot of commercials, but boy, he got a lot of NIL. So he was able to build his own thing. Now he got a contract with Adidas. I don't know how much they paid him, but I'm sure they paid him well. And so he already got his shoe deal. Shadeur got his. Now, let me tell you something. Travis made a very smart decision. I don't know who all was involved, but latching himself on to Coach Prime, yeah, it was a temporary setback because, yeah, you didn't get to go play with the big schools. You went to Jackson for 1 year. He probably didn't know that. He probably didn't know how long he would be there, but he trusted the process. Then he went to Colorado, which was a losing program, lost the first year. And it's like, okay, it still benefited him because he got to play on both sides of the ball. His brand was there. They was always on TV. All the press was there. So it still benefited him. And ultimately, it benefited him because he won the Heisman. So it paid off for him. He's probably second or third in NIL. And I don't think people would treat him like Coach Prime would have. He really handled Travis. He kept him healthy when he got hurt. He allowed him to be who he is as a person. I think it really paid off for him because some coaches try to mold you. And Coach Prime let Travis develop to the Travis we see today and let him fish and just be the personality he wanted to be. Dancing and being silly. Somebody else might would have quenched that. They probably say, hey, you're doing too much. Or hey, come to this, you need to act like this, you need to look like this, you need to dress like that. They didn't do him like that. Coach Prime let him be. That's true the example. Coach Prime letting people be who they are. Yeah. He's on the wrong team. Yeah. If he could have went to another team and bigger program, but he wanted to be at Boise. And that I think that hurt him but I think more than anything, going up against Travis is what hurt him. I think it was a good run, but somebody doing what Travis did and been doing, because Travis could have did it last year too, but he got hurt and all that. And you knew this was gonna be his year. Because as long as he kept playing and doing what he do, it is what it is. Travis can play basketball too. Yeah. Travis can do a lot of stuff. Yeah, he's just one of those people. He gonna put in the work, and he's athletic enough to pull it. Yeah. Okay. You say Janty. Yeah, I can Google it, but I see he's a junior. But with the type of year he had, he probably just need to come on out unless he gonna go and try to prove something, go play at a bigger program. Which he seemed to not want to do. He's so loyal to Boise. His best bet as a running back and having a short career, he probably better off just going ahead and coming on out because they have a short stint anyway. So if he had the season he had, then he probably just need to just go ahead and do what he gonna do. It is what it is. Let me try something. One second. Do a little update. One second. So with that, they say literally first day watching NFL game is just simply because Colorado season's over. Sum up the dynamic. Yeah, it's over, but it's not over. We still got one more game. So I think at the end of the day, I think if they start going back to practicing and things like that, hopefully they can get themselves back on track, get focused, and notice they gave Janty to Maxwell, which is another best overall. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure he got some awards. He should be the best running back. He did what he did. He's dynamic. He's definitely on the wrong team, but I mean, who knows what he produce the same? Who knows? That's why Travis and them had to get up out of Jackson. Because who knows? You can say, yeah, clearly Travis could do it at any level, but he had to leave Jackson. Shadeur had to leave Jackson just to prove they can do it at this level. That was the whole talking point the first year, even first game. Can Shadeur throw like he did at Jackson State? He shut that mess down game one. And I think that Shanty, if he did stay and go for his senior year, he got to prove he can do it at a bigger school. Period. I mean, they're not going to pay you like you want to get paid at running back anyway. Running backs have a short life span in NFL. So he probably need to go ahead and go while he's young and fresh. The more wear and tear he put on his body just to play in college, the worse. So he probably need to just go ahead and go. But if he stayed, he would have to do it on a bigger level. Just he already proved he can dominate the Mountain West. He has nothing else to prove. Nothing else to prove. They don't have a dynamic. They have a winning season, but they lost about one game. They're in the playoff. They have nothing else to accomplish. They're not going to win no national championship. So he's already maxed out what he can do. Yep. Congratulations to Travis. And Shadeur made them phone calls. The high school player. Them boys be recruiting. You know, they be recruiting. He's definitely built different. You know, I mean, to be able to play like he play every game, no matter what the temperature is, it'd be 100 and some degrees, and he act like it don't affect him. He out there in the cold with a short and t-shirt on, he act like it don't affect him. That's rare for a guy from Florida. He was out there warming up in Colorado last game. It was so cold. He out there with a short and t-shirt on, which is smart. I'm just saying that's a guy who didn't grow up in the cold, but he able to do that. You know, he's just mentally strong. He's mentally strong. I don't know, man. I don't know what Janty when he get the ball like that at Colorado. I don't know. That boy need to go to NFL. Man, he ain't got nothing else to accomplish at the college level. He really don't. Well, they just giving him the shine because we play. Who was playing for him? They say I like the fact the team came up to support him. Yeah, man. They doing some different kind of stuff. I mean, this is a unique experience. Colorado only has one other Heisman ever in history, and that was like 30 years ago, and he's no longer alive. So Travis is really doing something special for a school like Colorado. They don't have many Heisman candidates and things like that. This is like they might not see that again until another 30 years, unless somebody like Juju stay there and do it. And that would be wonderful because that means Coach Prime produced that in that short period of time multiple times. That would really put him on a whole nother level for that university and for college football. Because now you say this is a guy who's producing Heisman's and first round draft picks. He's just not just hype. He's not just the guy who got all the swagger. He's not just the guy who everybody know and he's a celebrity now. It's like, oh, he getting actual results. Exactly. Rest in peace. Rashawn Salim. So Shalon Salim's the only other Heisman candidate. Will Shepard show off too. I'm definitely gonna go back and check out the Well Out media because they had 50 players in there. With so many of them. I don't know how they get all of them. Did they get the jet and fly them all up there? They spent some money to get them boys up there. I don't know how they pulled that off, and they pulled it off knowing that not knowing but knowing. That's that faith, knowing that they would win. He would win. It was the odds were high, but it was clearly closer than what people thought to get Travis that Heisman, because they say that Janty won the People's Award, like the People's Vote, whatever that means. But it was close because Janty's been doing his thing. But when you look at this journey that Travis has taken, he just don't get no better. He's the only guy in history that's number one in his class to go to HBCU. Now he's the first person to win the Heisman that played in the FCS level, no less than HBCU. This is the crap I'm talking about. Yep. Yeah, I know he paid it. I don't know what it did, but yeah, I know he paid it. That's some money, long money. He had to pay for hotels too. unless they flew back that night. You know, got that plan, that expertise. She be on it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She made it work. Trying to get injured. Yeah, exactly. This that last year he was on their back. Last year he was on their back. Travis really he did 3 years. He really could have did 2, but it helps him to get a little more development and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure he had to fly him back that night. This is what I was saying. Y'all go back to when I first started doing content last year. I did some videos about how Coach Prime success and Travis success and Shadeur success, Shiloh, Cam, all these boys success. Even when Savion was there, I was saying that this is a powerful thing to see Travis and these boys succeed. Yeah, you know, because the prime effect is a whole nother level when you think about it. Well, you see, see Nicole Carter is that a social worker? Are you in Atlanta, Nicole? Licensed, what, a licensed social worker, I believe. Clinical social workers. Are you in Atlanta? I'm doing some networking with social workers here. I'm doing some work here in Atlanta. Let me know if you're in Atlanta. Um, yeah, I mean, of course, your YouTube streams were jumping. You know, they benefited from I guess showing it. Yeah, I mean, I was down at like a little Christmas party watching it, you know, on my phone. So I definitely wanted to see that, and I made sure I saw it. But I've been looking at like Well Off and even just videos, just looking back at Travis' journey because I guess they've been populating. Okay, you're in Cali. Okay, and I was looking at Travis as a freshman, and I was like, these guys get to say. Not only I went against Travis Hunter, D. Travis Hunter, the fan base in those little bitty stadiums and HBCUs, they don't even realize what they got to be a part of. Yeah, he didn't stay. He didn't need to stay all 3-4 years. The fact that he came there is history. Because like I said, he made history being the first guy to win that trophy that started off there. Now Cam Ward would have been similar. He went to HBCU, but he started off at the FCS level too. Shadeur did too. It was an interesting year. A lot of people want to talk about. I think Gabriel started off at a lower level at some point, but not like them. He said, I almost cried. Yeah, it's like I look back. I said these people get to say, "Man, I saw Travis Hunter. I played against Travis Hunter." How many people at that level can say, "I played against the best"? They can tell their kids, "Yeah, I did them," or they can lie. I stuck Travis. He was a freshman, but hey, I played against him. These people, everywhere they played, they sold out. It was like a traveling, like I won't say circus, but like just a tour. Everywhere they went, they sold out. All these people knew what they were saying. They knew they were saying Coach Prime, Shadeur, Travis. They gave them that. People don't want. They gave them the opportunity to say, "Hey, I seen this thing from the beginning before everybody else got to see it. Before Colorado got a chance to experience, we had it first." And you talk all this stuff about Coach Prime. He gave you that's a gift to the HBCU. You didn't have to stay. He gave you the exposure. And he gave you the opportunity to be a part of history. And then you look at Jackson State turn around and went and won against the team that beat Coach Prime the first year. They went and won their Celebration Bowl. Is it the same? No, but it's like Jackson State has been on the upward climb since. Success of the Coach Prime is went on. TC. This guy, he's an offensive coordinator. He was an offensive coordinator with Coach Prime. When they went to their first Celebration Bowl, he got a chance to really redeem himself because it's the same team he went up against. And it's like Jackson State, they got the new facilities, they got the exposure on top of their already history, and they got to move on. And it's like it's all positive. They didn't crash and burn when he left. He left them in a better place with the turf practice field. He left them with the new upgraded facility that he helped put money into, and the Walmart sponsorships and the uniforms and the Under Armour was there, and it's just like all that was positive. But the whole swag benefited from it. Even the media, everybody benefited from just that time period of having that spotlight there. Game day coming there, and all the press and Good Morning America, that everybody benefited. A rising tide raises all ships. Yeah. He said the dude that caught the pass on Taz Travis, he went out there and went to sleep and let that boy catch that. Yeah, it was a good throw. All them boys, man, everybody can. I mean, it ain't even about what you did to Travis. It's the fact that he go on to be. He already done made history as a Heisman. He go on to be a Hall of Fame player. You can tell your kids, yeah, I played against him. But HBCU players can say that now. I played with him. They're like, you ain't played with no Travis Hunter. Yeah, his freshman year, he was at Jackson State. It's the fan base. Hey, it is what it is. I didn't see what he said. What did he say? I don't know what he said. I don't even know what he say. Because the way Travis had went about it, he's done it with intentionality. I didn't see that. I missed that. I missed Dan Lanning's face. Dan Lanning's, Mr. Clicks. I'm not about like idolizing nobody or whatever, but the way he's done it in a way with intentionality. He's done it in a way where Travis, I'm talking about, he's done it in a way where he feel like he wanted to be the person he wanted to see, like to the kids. Like if you see a 12 jersey, he's signing. I was at the game right there. The guy was trying to get Travis' attention, and he had his son there, and I was standing right there. You go look at my live when I was there, and I told him, give the thing to your son. Like you hold it up. It's my Heisman poster, and the little boy was there. I said, give it to your son. I'm standing right there by him, and I said, give the picture, give it to your son. He'll come to him. And sure enough, Travis came right there and signed it right there. Anybody that Travis saw that was a kid, he stopped. He stopped. I seen it when he did the buff walk. I've seen other buff walks. And that's who he's been. He shouted out Jackson State. What Heisman ever shot? I mean, you talking about a guy who won a Heisman, said, I'm always going to remember Jackson State. Nobody disrespected Jackson State. Coach Prime posted on his, was it Twitter or Instagram, shout out to TC for winning. These boys respect Jackson State. I hope they have the same honor and respect for what he did and acknowledge what he did and what they did. Because Jackson State benefited a lot. What they want right there. He ain't trying to rob it from history. He's moved on with his life. But these boys always give respect to Jackson State. They always give respect to I know Shadeur does. I know all these players does. So that's where you at. I mean, so that's a beautiful thing to see at the end of the day. I don't want people to forget where they came from. Travis, you ain't never gotta tell Travis to do anything like that. You ain't never gotta tell him to don't forget where you came from, because at the end of the day, that's part of your history. And we witness history. Now, what does this mean going forward for Colorado? Well, one, they got the bowl game coming up. So the storyline at least extends to the bowl game, which is what? The 28th, 27th? I think it's 27. You look at the fact that Travis actually gonna play in the game. That's another historic moment. The guy done won the Heisman. He gonna move forward and go to the top and draft Shadeur. They set another precedence in a time where people are starting to say, I'm not gonna play in no bowl game. I refuse to play in the bowl game. I don't need to play in that selfishness. They're showing a new tone. You don't get no better than them. You don't get no better than those guys. And yet they're showing people, hey, so BYU players might say, we're gonna play too. Some of the guys who probably want to play because I want to get a chance to play against them. Or I don't want them to show me up. That's what we're looking at, man. These guys are setting a new standard, but they set a culture for their program. that even our Heisman played in our bowl games. Even our first #1 draft pick quarterback played. Golden Arm played in the bowl game. So it's the 28th conference. I get the difference between the Alamo Bowl and that Holiday Bowl, December 28th. Yeah. So what we got here? Appreciate Travis. Once in a generation, y'all. Yeah, we don't get it. Man, feel like the man on 28. Yeah. So what we looking at, they got to end this thing off, kind of like how they tried to do with the Celebration Bowl. They didn't have to play in the Celebration Bowl. They was already going to be leaving to go to Colorado, but they wanted to finish strong. They didn't. People hold it against them. People hold it against them like, hey, they didn't win the big game and all that. So everybody's always looking for something to hold over Colorado. These boys can finish this season, even though it's not the playoff. It's gonna mean something. It's gonna mean something to them because it's their last game together. It's gonna mean something for Colorado's momentum, but it's also gonna mean something for that monkey that they hold over Coach Prime head to say, "Oh, he can't win the big game. He can't win the championship. This is his bowl game. It's not a championship, but it is." And it's that BYU that they didn't get to play. BYU might have a little edge on them because they feel like they probably should have made it to the championship and they didn't. Colorado may somewhat feel like it was a three-way tie, even though Colorado lost 3 and some other games only lost 2 other teams. But technically, they all was tied in like 1, 2, 3, 4. Not Boise, Iowa State, Arizona State, Colorado, BYU, all these teams was tied technically, but just one was higher ranked than the other according to whatever, head to head or whatever. So Colorado is now in a situation where they can kind of resolve some stuff like, yeah, we could have did this, we could have did that. Because this was the game some people thought was going to end up before Arizona came out of nowhere. People thought that Colorado was going to be playing BYU for the longest. We thought for the longest, and then all of a sudden, because Iowa State had lost some games, and then once Arizona State, and once really where they beat Kansas State and then they beat Iowa State, that put Arizona in a good spot. But the biggest problem was Colorado around the same time lost to Kansas, and that just threw everything back off again. It was kind of stable. And see, BYU, they couldn't afford. Who did BYU lose to? I think Kansas ended up being BYU too. Not right before. So everything was already topsy-turvy. The best to play in Colorado bowl game. Yeah, that's huge. It's going against the new norm where people kind of feel like, hey, I don't have to play. I'm going to NFL. And he's like, you don't get no better than these guys. And they create a new standard overall. But it really shows how important their team are and their coach is. So they're gonna give everybody something to go see. It's gonna be a hot sale ticket because this is legit. This is the last time you're gonna see them play. And so people show up, and they're gonna be like the bowl game or the conference game we seen with Arizona State. Anybody saw that Iowa State, Arizona State? That game was empty, like a storm went through that. That's why you wonder why certain teams get invited to playoffs and bowls because they know who's gonna sell. Nobody want to sell no tickets for no empty game. Got a big old stadium, can't fill it up. 2 more. Yeah. See, you got the players, man. Harge. So I know he's slated to be in that slot. I want to see Harge in that backfield, man. I talked about that. Yeah, got to get it from Miss Peggy. You got to create a reason. If it's not interest, you got to create a reason to make something important. It's a bowl game. We got to find a way to make it important. And there's nothing more important than this is our last hoorah. It means something to us. Yeah, it's tough. And to stay healthy, it's tough. Yeah. Kansas, Arizona State. Yeah. BYU. You kind of snuck them at the end. They were running good. They got snuck at the end, but really UCF tried to get them. Not UCF. Oklahoma State had them. The refs kind of helped them out, but Arizona State had them. The same day that Arizona State had them was the same day that Iowa State was supposed to lose to UCF. And that's when I realized these teams ain't what they They were looking dominant, but they both almost lost to two of the weaker teams in the conference. Like, okay, they can't stop the run or running quarterbacks. So I knew then it was going to get shaky. And that ended up winning what it was. Arizona State was a problem with that boy running that ball. They couldn't stop the run. Colorado was inconsistent too, but they really couldn't stop the run. Colorado, for the most part, did. They just waited to the wrong time not to stop the run. Some people, yeah, they say, just hope they're on. That's going to be up to the coaching. I mean, we do know some players did hit the portal. Not anybody significant at this point. Some can wait till after the game. I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting because some of these guys who coming in next year are going to get to bring a fresh energy. They're going to come in and practice, which wasn't done last year. So that's going to be exciting. Some well-off content maybe that we can get where we get to see these young boys who coming in, who the future, get to come and practice for a couple weeks while they out of school or whatever. They get to kind of hang with the team. So that's going to be something to see. Juju going to get to come and hang out. We got Marquez Walker, who Juju just played a couple weeks ago, linebacker. A lot of these young guys going to get to come in and practice, which is interesting on how that works. But they're going to let them come in and practice, and then they're going to come right back early January to come in and early enroll. But that's what we got to look forward to. And honestly, I hate it for Shadeur. Everybody say Shadeur should have made. Let me tell you, I'm not hard on Shadeur. People think I'm hard on Shadeur, but I see a lot of Shadeur. I had similar traits. You nonchalant and talented. It kind of help you stay calm, cool. That he said he grown. He don't show no emotion, but that killer thing that Shadeur don't have. Shadeur could have easily blew away all the other quarterbacks. He just a lot of times when he didn't need to, he shut it down. And he left a lot of meat on the bone. He left many touchdowns on when he shut it down. So he could have made it undeniable where they had to invite him up there, even though he had better stats than Gabriel and stuff like that. Like, he threw a few nonchalant interceptions that he didn't have to throw. He just kind of I ain't talking about like in Utah where the guy made a good play. I'm talking about just like Arizona and stuff like that. Some plays he made in the red zone he could have scored or whatever. And it wasn't that it was a good team. It's just that it's like he gets bored. Travis said he got bored when that boy threw that touchdown on him. I've been describing it as that with Shadeur. He just get like, man, I'm bored. And because of that, it's just why he need to get his butt on to the next level so he can be challenged. At least in his mind, he would be a little more. Because Shadeur, without getting too detailed, like trying to look at specific games, I know in the Arizona game, I know in the Texas, I know in a lot of these games, especially on the back end, but even on the front end, in the front end, he kind of had the Brady Mold thing going where he liked to play from behind and he run them down. He just get those stats because he was chasing them down, like playing with his food, I call it. But when we did play ahead, like UCF, sometimes it just got like, things kind of slowed down. Coach Brown said, who stepped on the brakes? Who told them to step on the brakes? And that's what we would see the team kind of slow down for about a quarter or two or even a half. And that's what I believe hurt Shadeur. Like, he could have easily ran away with this thing, to me, stats-wise. It's some games where he barely got 300 or got below 300. I think Shadeur could have averaged close to 400 a game. Like I said in the beginning of the season, 4 touchdowns a game. He didn't set that goal because he didn't have to. But I would have set the goal just to push myself. Play, the kind of game where I'm getting 3+ touchdowns a game. Just make the stats ridiculous, just to challenge myself. And not just to get the Heisman, but just to push myself. He didn't really push himself, and he still did the numbers he did. So, yeah, he really played around with his food, and I think that's what hurt him. Travis left some stuff on the field too, but Travis is a little more aggressive. He was a little more like, you're not going to throw on me, except that one touchdown. And the catches he go up. He go up, he going to catch him. Like, I feel like Will Shepherd and Shadeur was both like guys who, they're not equal, but I'm saying, like, if you look at another position, I would compare Will Shepherd to Shadeur. Will Shepherd was very nonchalant with some opportunities. He's very talented,
but it was some times where he just didn't go and make himself dominant, go up for the balls. It was time where he just looked like he just missed balls wide open, or and then he'll make a good play, but he didn't make the plays that really make him the dominant guy he could be. So he don't show that. So if he don't get drafted, you have to go free agent and improve it. It's like it's not that you're not good. It's just you didn't show it all the time, or you leave that doubt where you really could have just dominated and put yourself in a whole nother position. So that's what I feel like Shadeur did. Like Shadeur, sometimes he just be like, we won. I threw 3 touchdowns, 270 yards, when it should have been 400, almost 400 yards a game. And I think if he put those kind of numbers up, because he didn't get hurt this year from the standpoint where he missed games like last year, I think he would have blew away all the records. He would have blew away just anybody who would say he can't get that Heisman. Like his numbers. I mean, he really should have threw half the interception. He should have took half the sacks. His completion rate was good, but he just left a lot of meat on the bone to be that good, to be that close. You know, he was that close. He should have got it. He really should have got it. But because of the whole situation where, you know, you don't have to. You got Travis Hunter. You got all that talent around you. Sometimes you really don't push yourself unless you push yourself. My suggestion for Shadeur is to find internal goals, because you're so talented. It ain't always about winning and losing. It's about you pushing yourself to make yourself. Now, hopefully the NFL pushing, but I hope he's ready for that type of push. People are not as nice. You ain't got the support of your dad and stuff like that right there by you. They kind of like, they love you, then they hate you, and especially when they paying you. The fans are that way. I've seen many quarterbacks that are good quarterbacks. Fans just dog them out. We didn't really get that with Colorado. But most people respect Shadeur. They didn't call him out when they probably could have, or even should have at times, because it's like, what else do you got? Like, you don't have anything else in Colorado. You can't draft another quarterback. We ain't got a backup. We ain't like put them on the bench, put the backup in, like you see they were doing down in Texas and even in Georgia at times. You don't really see that because Colorado. You would say that was because of Daddy Ball. Daddy didn't put nobody to challenge him. Well, maybe that would have helped him, but at the same time, his stats show that it was more than Daddy Ball. You wanted to, and that's why I wanted Shadeur to be more aggressive, to show these people they playing with your name. They disrespecting you. They dishonoring your dad, that you. Go ahead and show them, man. Go ahead and step on that gas. Quit acting like it's cool, like acting like you got it, because these folks, they looking for any chance they can to dog you out. And don't give it to them. Go ahead and put the shame, go ahead and put it to bed. You the best. And I think Travis did that for the most part. He dropped a couple balls, but for the most part, never more on defense and a few on offense, but for the most part, and I can say he could have did more, but he done plenty. He done plenty. Do you think the seniors will play an entire ball game, or the seniors more of this game to get them? I mean, you're not getting no game film at this point. I don't think you're getting game film at this point. I think your game film should be a done deal at this point. So I don't know, man. I mean, he put them seniors in on senior day. They didn't do that great, the backups, but I think that this is another opportunity for somebody like a Will Shepherd. It's another opportunity for a LeJounte to kind of solidify himself. It's another opportunity for a Jimmy to do something exceptional. But outside of that, I mean, they know what you can do. They know what you can do. I mean, it's a bowl game. It's not like it's a playoff. Playoff be a little different because you got a chance to go play another week, and play against the best of the best. So it is what it is. I think that it's gonna be a good end to the story, a good farewell to the story. So I can't put it no other way. I think Shadeur can go ahead and say, I'm going to go ahead and make it where I'm going to put my one last step on, just in case y'all forgot. That's why I kind of wanted to see him go against Cam Ward, because they would have gave it a little more oomph if he had went against Cam Ward, because they would have pushed each other. And Shadeur has to be pushed. Shadeur don't have nothing to prove. He going to go to the NFL. He going to do what he do regardless. He you got to push him. And so I don't know if like him being rubbed the wrong way at this point is a thing. I don't know if like he cared because he's like, I'm good. Whatever going on behind the scene, he got his Nike deal. He got his coaches probably already talking to him about the NFL. He don't really have anything else to prove unless it's an internal thing, unless he's gonna say, you know what, I'm gonna push myself to prove that I could have been kind of like what Janty said. Janty said that because of the whole situation with the Heisman, it gives me more reason to go out here and show out in this playoff because I feel disrespected. Sometimes when you lose, it puts you that way. Shadeur should feel that way because he should feel like I should have been part of that group. It should have been me and Travis like they was talking about last year. And until he take it that way, which he probably don't, he probably like, I don't care, But Travis probably would take it that way. Travis took a lot of stuff personally. He took it personally when you throw at him. He took it personally when you talk junk to him. Different personalities, different kind of drive. So if anybody I would like to see go ahead and say, I'm for the last time, I'm gonna show y'all who I am. I'm gonna go and throw for 400-500 yards. I would want to see Shadeur do something like that. Honestly. Yeah, that would have been, it would have been, we wouldn't have to ask Shadeur to find something to play for because old boy would have, they would have amped that thing up. They would have been talking junk and well off and doing these little things because old boy already talking about what he gonna do in his bowl game. So at the end of the day, you got to find something because you playing BYU, you're gonna play them next season. The only thing you really got is your storyline. This is our last time playing together. This is my last time to show what it's about, and it's it. This is it. Let's do it one more time. The win means something personal for us as a team and for the university. It don't really mean nothing outside of going to the next level for me or even going to the playoff or nothing like that, like the other games did. Somebody telling me about the red zone. He said the red zone shows all the games. He must be just coming in. And he said red zone comes with NFL Sunday Ticket Max. Yeah, Allen was just somebody because the red zone he's saying comes with the Tanggula box, which by the way, you should see is the show is brought to you by Tanggula Box today. Go to defeatcable.com. Allen can tell you all about it. He got a couple Tanggula boxes. These is a one-time payment. You pay one time. You don't have no monthly cost. You buy it and you good. It keeps all the updates and everything. You update it. So it's an ongoing thing. Sometimes they come out with more new boxes, but you don't have to get new boxes and all that over and over again. The technology updates is streaming. They got thousands and thousands of channels, thousands and thousands of movies. So off season now, you said, what I'm going to do? You got the movies and the TV shows for those who watch that. And they get a lot of the new movies on there, which is cool. After they come out or whatever. Pay-per-view. You got all this different stuff, international channels. It's just something fun. But for those who really love sports, you get all the sports channels. You even got the national channels, local and national. If I want to watch sports over in Denver, I can watch local Denver. I can watch local wherever you are. And you can watch local where I am. That's what I like about it. So if the NFL is not showing certain stuff in my region, I can go to their local channel and watch the football game. My team is on the West Coast and we're only showing the East Coast game. Then I give me that option. I can go and watch it. And I'm sure maybe some of that stuff on NFL Network, if they're on that, but if they're on their local Fox and my Fox is only showing these teams, I can watch their local Fox and watch them play. So that Tanggula box, as you see scrolling at the bottom there, is a very big deal. That's why I promote it here for people who like to watch sports, especially now that we're starting to get these buffs going. We had Xavier Weaver last year. I watched him on the Tanggula box. I had to watch him on a couple of local channels because they wasn't showing it, right? They're not showing the Arizona Cardinals. They're not playing the Falcons, anybody. So I was able to catch him play some games. Now we don't know where Travis going to go. We don't know where Shadeur going to go. We don't know where a lot of our players going to go. Some of them going to go be free agents. The Tanggula box is definitely going to be helpful because we will be able to watch those games easier if they're not showing on our local channels or they're not playing on the national channel. I mean, that's just playing ball. That's the risk you take, injury free and all that. I mean, it is what it is. All these players leaving playoff teams to jump in the portal. Well, they leaving. They're probably saying they're not gonna play anyway, so they're looking out for themselves. They're looking out for next year. I mean, if they're leaving, they're a playoff team. What good is a playoff team when you're on a third string? Nobody cares about it. It doesn't benefit me to be on the playoff team, to be on the bench or be on the practice squad, whatever. If I feel like I can go play somewhere else, and the hopefully is you leave and go play. Don't leave a championship team sitting on the bench to go get on the losing team to sit on the bench. That's the key. If you compare apples to apples, I'd rather be on the winning team on the bench. Then if I go to another team, I better be playing. Hasn't even begun. Yeah, they're gonna be leaving. I mean, they gotta do what's best. I asked you last season, does the box work overseas? I think I told you they don't work overseas, even though you can watch overseas channels, because I think it's based off of the local streaming and IP. So yeah, it don't. That's what we talked about last year when I asked. They said using Italy or something like that, that you're not gonna be able to stream from there. But if you're here, you can stream all the channels in the other countries. But I think it's based off of the IP address and all that. Whatever streaming needed. That's why it has to be based here. It has to be based in the United States. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. I did ask that question last, and I did respond about that. But if you're in the United States, you're good. I know for sure you should be good with that. But with that, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and close this things out. Of course, I have inspiration, motivation. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. If you're new here, we're closing this thing out. We got the Heisman. It's been a long time. It's been a lot of speculation, a long time coming, and here we are. So I know it's gonna be a lot more coming, a lot more content. We already seeing it popping up. Well off, other stuff on YouTube, and more stories developing. I look forward to seeing Travis Hunter on those Heisman commercials with the jersey, with the blank, generic Colorado looking jersey on, doing his dance and all that. I'm sure he'll have a good time. So, man, we just witnessed history. We've been following this thing. It's a good thing. Congratulations. And let's look forward to this bowl game. Y'all have a good Sunday, remaining y'all Sunday, and I'll be talking to y'all soon.